Hi, my name is Joe Lavin and I'm a massage therapist located in Seattle, Washington. This is a video of a floor stretching Thai massage practice session that I did with Daisy, who is one of my incredible therapists that work at Massage Reimagined in Seattle. A couple disclaimers that are important to note. This video is for entertainment and general information purposes only. Nothing in this video should be considered as professional or medical advice. Nothing in this video should be considered to be approved as continuing education for licensed massage therapists or any other profession. Some of the techniques that I use in this video are a little advanced and may not be safe for some receivers to receive or some givers to give. The intended audience for this video is other professional massage therapists, body workers, yoga practitioners, as well as people who have been to one of my massage workshops. Please remember that if you are stretching a client or even just a partner or friend, make sure that you understand enough about general anatomy as well as their specific anatomy so that you do not put them in a compromising position or stretch them beyond their abilities and or limitations. So that being said, hopefully you'll find some stuff in here that you can implement and use. So right off the start, let me tell you that one thing that's really different about my Thai work, first off, that's a really nice way to let the legs down. You never want to let a leg, a limb, or anything drop to the ground. You want to take care of everything you're working on. But I don't use any real routines. I don't have a kata. I don't have a ABC, 1, 2, 3 this way, 1, 2, 3 that way. I'm constantly just kind of trying to figure out my client's body and what's best for them in that moment. What's good for Daisy right here in this stretch when I'm coming around the world on her outside thigh here might be really bad for somebody else. So I don't like to rely on routines if I don't have to. I do have some special runs I like. I do have some sequences I like, but I'm always willing to give them up in service of my client's needs in this moment. You notice I always use the opposing hip or the opposing shoulder, working across the body, across the big joints, which might not make sense if you're just looking directly at an anatomical chart of where we say the muscles attach and insert. But the body's got a lot of connective tissue, and working across these big joints is really profound for clients in lots of different ways, and I like to use that as an assessment tool as well as a treatment tool. I like to provide support for my client's body. You'll often see a foot, an arm, a hip, something on the outside while I'm twisting one direction, always trying to give them a really, really secure frame and to make sure I know that I'm stretching above a joint, below a joint, or letting the joint go into the whole stretch. And then things at the end of the stretch here, like taking that foot in a dorsiflexion, pushing forwards a little bit, really makes that stretch dynamic and profound. I'm watching her face for signs of stress. I'm listening to her breath. Here you see I've got a lot of arm action. My arm's taking care of most of this work, but now you'll see my knee and my shin starts to come in, and momentarily it will take over and start to do a little more of the stretching for me. So I'm trying to shift the harder work into my skeleton, into my core, so I can use gravity and the weight of my body to get it done. Here I'm going to come across her body, a little bit of press in the shoulder for some rotation. One thing that's really hard to get from these videos is in understanding how many different places I am putting stress on that body at one time. How many places of torque, of resistance, what I'm really going after in the stretch. And it's not just hard to see, even in the class, it's really hard to teach. So you have to do this, you have to kind of use intuition, you have to feel the work, and you have to receive the work. So you can actually feel how some of these stretches work, and that'll help you really understand what your clients are experiencing.
No, I'm laughing because my immediate reaction is to point my toes, which is so stupid. It's such an acro reflex.
Oh.
Oh, that feels awesome.
And again, always taking care, taking the limbs all the way down to the floor, supporting everything you're working on. Get a nice bend in there. Going to come forward into a deep lunge, so her foot's in my hip pocket there, and I'm getting that lunge, so all that gravity is just coming in. I'm not having to work hard for that. That outside leg of mine, the left leg, you see how it makes a frame, so I can't overstretch her. So I'm always leaving something there to make sure that I don't take her too far. She's super flexible. A lot of your clients, partners aren't going to be this flexible. And so you don't want to take them where you think that you want them to be. You want to really focus on where their body can go in a comfortable but semi-challenged state.
I didn't realize that sound goes through your whole house.
And this will kind of be a reverse look at what we did on the other side, so you get to see the opposite view.
So the receiver would never know. The receiver
Bring the
would
leg
never know.
over, using that lunge, getting my shin in there, letting my skeleton move her skeleton, my body weight do the trick.
Oh, yeah.
Her hips had a little pinch here, so I'll go in and kind of push my fingers into the joint capsule, the labrum area. Just try to make that pinch go away for her. As you can see, we're talking a lot. This is a practice session. We're having a pretty good time. Sometimes with a client, I don't want to talk at all. I really want to focus on my work. I want their nervous system to not be too engaged. So you just make that choice depending on the client you have. You're going to figure 4 your leg. If your ankle doesn't feel good here, let me know, okay? These figure 4 stretches are really nice. They're super versatile. A lot of times I will do that standing up, but we've already figured out with Daisy that the way that her body works, it's better if I get down to a lunge and do it. Sometimes I'll get all the way down and get my shoulder actually into the back of the knee, so I can get some better lineup. It just depends what I'm trying to get out of the session in terms of how much work I want to put in and how much I want to challenge my partner. I think in Thai massage, one of the things that's really emphasized a lot is to do the most with the least effort all the time. So try to honor that. This is that kind of standing figure 4 position that I use a lot. Sometimes my left leg might come in there to the back of her thigh and start to challenge. I'll change my hips. It could be a lateral stretch. It could be a rotation stretch. It just depends on, again, what her body needs.
Yeah, that's pretty mild for me. But how can you deepen that?
Oh.
It just feels weird on my knee.
Because she is so flexible, because her hips are so open, because her body is generally pretty loose, not easy to control standing up. I like coming in this kneeling position because I get a lot more control, specific control, and I can do some things that I just can't do from the standing positions. These palm presses I'm doing right here, mid-thigh, probably going up to the knee. I'm stacking my skeleton. I'm just getting a line, being very straight, shoulder all the way down to the arm, and just leaning in.
You could just do stretching on him though.
So from here I could go to wheelbarrow, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go to semi-happy baby, I think. This sequence right here, this is pretty difficult. It's difficult one for a lot of clients to get into. I'm gonna be really gentle, get their feet around just right, wash their knees and low back. It's also difficult for you because if they give you any resistance and you don't have enough body weight going forward, they will put you on your tush really, really fast. So this is something I want to practice a lot before I start doing with clients. And clients who are really tight in the hips, low back, I want to be really careful about getting this done.
That's great. It's so funny that I forget how flexible I am compared to other humans because I feel so inflexible for me.
It's all relative.
Like I'll be like, my hamstrings are tight, and then I can put my palm on the ground. And people are like, what? That's tight? That feels awesome too.
This is kind of a modified happy baby pose. A lot of stuff that I do in partner stretching and even in Thai massage looks very similar to yoga. We do very similar to partner yoga. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do coming from either direction, massage, Thai massage, or from yoga or sports stretching background. All these are very, very versatile ways that you can work with your clients.
Feels great.
Do you see how palming the inside thighs there, what it does to her low back, her hips, her ribs, even probably up by her neck and ear? So you want to really focus on all of the things that her body is telling you, all the information you get from her, whether it's verbal, whether it's her breath, whether it's her body, some resistance, some nervous system reactions. They're going to tell you really important things about how your work is affecting her and what you might want to do to have more effect in the muscles, in the nervous system, wherever. This is a nice cross-body stretch. I like to do a lot. Clients love it. One of the important things you can't see is my heel is pretty much on the mat, and my toes or the ball of my foot are what are doing the work on that shoulder, on the pec. I might even strip out with that. Another thing I can't really stress enough is how important those compressions are. The compressions you see me doing when you're watching professional Thai massage therapists do their work, you're going to see they get these stretches pretty much 95% of the way to where they want them, and then they'll drop in these heavy compressions, and it just is, it's like neural overflow of information for the body. Clients love it. It helps to reset things, but just watch how much we use our compressions. Right here, this is a pretty aggressive move. I'm just taking my knee into the IT band area. I'm not putting much pressure at all, and you can see right there at the beginning Daisy was really having to process that. That's a pretty aggressive move. It's great, especially if you're a smaller person and you're trying to be really effective on a linebacker, etc. There's lots of ways for Thai massage to really let you be super efficient. And again, there's not much going on here. There's not much pressure, but Daisy's really having to work to process that. So it is definitely a powerful tool. Here I'm throwing in some very active pin and stretch, very akin to what would be roster work. If you haven't checked out roster work, I would suggest it. It's super powerful, great work. So take a look. But a lot of it is me getting in a good place and then letting Daisy control the amount of work that's going on with her actions. You can see how much it's taken her to process this. Not a lot of pressure, but really it's her activating her muscles, the hand, flexing her fingers, flexing her wrist, that makes this work really dynamic. Putting all the real responsibility on her in a very relaxed, just duty to give pressure on me. Here is I've got an idea, or I think I've seen this before. What do I want to do? Look. So I'm just trying to figure out a way to get a good stretch with Daisy. She's got long limbs. I'm not that tall of a person, so I've got to really think about how I want to control those limbs in a way that doesn't let them inhibit the end range of my stretch. So I'm looking for different ways to get some good mobility in the hip, bring her over, do some very specific work maybe in the piriformis, the obturators, but also to really give her some pressure in the hip, in the anterior hip, and just see what asks for the most attention, what needs the most work. And I want to make sure that after I get set, can I use my body? Is there a way I can get up here and push with my thigh, let all my body weight pull instead of using my arms? So I'm always looking for a way to be really efficient. I think some Thai, I think one of my favorite Thai teachers says lazy yoga, lazy Thai massage, because they want to get these really profound stretches and techniques in and really just be relaxed as all get out.
When Travis was first doing trampoline, he's like,
and I'm still trying to figure out how do I want to get this done. Again, long limbs, so I gotta adjust how I might work on someone who's shorter than me, and I do that by just feeling around, getting in position, holding, seeing if I get the tension. If not, trying a different way. There's always a way to get this, and that's why it's important for me when I teach and when I ask people to learn. It's not to learn a routine, not to learn a kata, but to really learn how to get something done, how to figure it out on your own, how to play with your client's body, with them, interact in a way that you finally go, oh, this is the best way for that person. And maybe it works on the next person and maybe it doesn't. But the reasoning will always work on the next person. So it's more important for me to help you figure out how to do this, why to do this, than to give you 16 steps on this stretch sequence. You see here, Daisy's nice. Her body's just really reactive. It'll take a gentle insinuation or suggestion. It will just turn, help me out. Other bodies, No way. Just going to be completely static, no help, and so I'm not going to get them over. And both are beautiful. Both work, and both are both give you different ways to think about the work and different ways to do the work. Here you'll see a lot of my jiu-jitsu background coming in. I'm constantly using joint locks, arm locks, that kind of stuff to get good things done, not bad things. But it definitely comes from a lot of time just spent playing with bodies, trying to figure out which way to get them to go, how to have good power grips. And so a lot of this stuff may be a little different than what you're used to seeing in a Thai massage setup, but usually those are very secure grips and easy on me. At this point in the stretch, a lot of clients would be challenged. They'd be super tight and restricted there. Daisy is not, so I'm having to figure out different ways to support her body to keep things stable while I work on her. A lot of sideline work. I ask my client to keep the bottom leg straight, top leg bent. I'm going to put the upper hand over, and here I ask her to hold on. So I'm asking her to grab my wrist, so I'm not doing all the work, and I just stand up. Okay, I'm not trying to flex or extend my back. I'm just trying to stand up like a squat, although it's a staggered leg squat. I'm going to probably take the upper arm there and take it over, let it help add to the gravity. She needs a lot of stretch. I'm supporting that leg, pushing it down. In a second, I'm probably going to start to rotate her, and so that's a pretty advanced stretch. It starts to get more advanced. You don't need that much for most people, but again, for Daisy to feel a challenge, I've got to do a little extra. Teeth on the ballet, and I just find her teaching, so I figure something out. Now I'm just going to play around a bit, try to find some fun big stretches here, try to use my feet and legs more. Definitely trying to let it be my body weight. You can see me try to find a couple different levers, a couple ways to get maybe 1 foot under and then 1 foot over, kind of like the paddles they do in Thailand, that kind of stuff. See, that's for Daisy. She's really calm. I can't see her face, but I can feel her body being totally relaxed, so I'm not worried about that too much. So how easy can I make this work? My legs can do the work of my feet. They're such bigger muscles, bigger limbs. They're just a lot more suited to do really heavy work, so I like to get them involved whenever I can. Some more jits kind of joint locks, which really come in handy. I'm just feeling which way her body wants to roll, which way it doesn't want to roll. What could I do here to be the most effective for her, either in the stretch or soft tissue work? I get a lot of nice rotation work done when we're sitting up. You'll see I use that elbow as a lever, and then I'm pushing up on her shoulder, and I'll bring her around. She actually is pretty tight in the low back and the hip. Otherwise, I would be pulling her a little more at this point. So I'm going to get up, get a little better lunge. I like to kind of get the body, chest opening up and head coming back in this stretch. So, and there I push it forward as I say that. But different times, different situations, looking for different things. Here was a don't do that thing. Don't drop their arm. We're both laughing about that. Also, don't choke them. I'm pretty close to the neck. I'm definitely not choking her yet. I'm pulling that elbow lever like I did before, and that's how my other elbow, my left arm, was coming in and doing some work. And that's how I try to get the chest to open up and her top body or head to come back to me. Here, I'm looking for some different stretches. I might step out there. I can kneel out there at times. I'm going to bring her over my thigh and really open up her side here. And what's great is this is a really easy stretch for me to do, but she's getting a good, profound experience. A lot going on for her to think about, and I'm just going to kind of change. I might pull straight back. I might angle. I might rotate, looking for the most tension I can get and I can play with and work, resolve. Here I'm going to lengthen her. I'm going to get some traction in the hip and the spine. More torque, different things going on with the body, trying to figure things out, feeling for what I need, then I don't think I needed that, so I let it go. bringing her up, making sure she's okay, holding on, always making sure that I set them back to neutral. The clients can get dizzy, they can fall over here, so I really want to make sure that things are going well before I let them sit up on their own. And I think that's it for this video, so I appreciate you sticking with me through the loose narration. Hopefully you found something here that was insightful, and just go out there, touch people, be amazing. These two slides go kind of fast, so if you want to read anything here, just press pause, otherwise, and then you can read the information there.